What's up and welcome to a new video. We are here in Spain. Not even going to try to pronounce the name of the track where we are because I'm not Spanish, so I'll put that in text here so you know where we are. We are testing my GT86. Conor is not here. He had sponsorship duties in America, so he didn't get to make it back for testing. So we have his car all finished, and Conor Falvey and Clint are here, so I might let one of them take it for a spin just so we can check the logs and make sure it's okay. But I have done my first 2 laps in the car. Power steering setup and the new setup on the Wise Fab compared to where it was last year, the car does feel much nicer. The new turbo also feels quite good. Obviously, like we said before, we're down a tiny bit in power, so the ratio is a little bit too long for the track, so might do another 2 laps with this ratio just so we can compare logs back to back and make sure that everything's okay. But then we might put a shorter ratio and then see how it feels. But I must say it looks fairly good in the sunshine, so it does. The pink rock covers are really popping in the engine bay, so it looks absolutely lovely. Steering is super light, it's really nice and probably the best it's felt, so a big plus for that. Also, the car feels a lot more stable with the new BC coilovers. We kind of revalved them, so they're a little bit stiffer than what they were last season, so it's not as like bouncy and jumpy, and yeah, feels pretty nice for the first 2 laps. So we're gonna probably just go and do another 2 laps, make sure it's okay. It is quite warm today, so we're just making sure that temperatures and all that kind of stuff's okay. We just rebled the water because the car crept to like 100 degrees, which is like unusual for this car. Usually it's always at like 85 to like 95. That's like where it likes to sit, and it kind of crept to 100, so just brought it back in just to be sure it's okay. It's good to be back in GT86. Definitely a lot more comfortable in that car, that's for sure. I could just jump in, do 2 fairly solid laps straight away, and it feels just nice. So yeah, we're gonna keep you updated and hopefully go as a plan. Banana Man is here with James Dean also, so we might get some outside stuff. We have Mika Corpy also here and Laurie Heinen, like some sort of a Drift Masters practice day, so it's good fun. Also, after losing my strong hat again, I think, so that's probably like a mission that I'm going to have to put myself on this year, is that I have to like hold myself accountable for the strong hats, because I don't know where it's gone. I really hope it's here somewhere and not at the Airbnb that we're not staying in tonight. So yeah, that's it for now. So we'll get back in the car and make sure everything's good and go from there. So we've done our second 2 laps, and I must say, the car feels unbelievable. We made a slight toe change and it feels class. But right now we have Conor's car on track, so Clint came to watch, so he didn't bring his car, so we said that he can make himself useful and go do a lap and make sure the car is okay. So we're not too sure how we'll get on, but we just need to make sure the car is okay basically. So it's drifting, so at least that. Yeah, I think the gearing is a little bit too long for this track, and yeah, it's a little bit smoky, but once it works and we can pull a log, that's all that needs to happen. So sweet. Hopefully he doesn't want to build a GTA 6 now, because this man has just finished his brand new S14. So yeah, no, Conor's car also has like a new setup on the front, so I'm not too sure how it's going to drive, but Clint will give us some bit of feedback for some adjustments, but obviously he's not Conor Shanahan, so we can't know if it's perfect basically, but we just need to make sure the engine is working and that the log is perfect, and then we are good. A couple of laps done, got to do a bit of a tandem practice with Laurie and with James. Not very happy because they pulled a gap on me, both of them, so obviously they didn't have a little bit more power, a little bit more grip. Yeah, it's just not ideal, but it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it now until we can change turbos in the car and get to the next size up and basically make more power, because we're kind of at the point where we're out of power to add more grip kind of, so we're almost maxed out. And obviously when it's a test day, we're not following a correct line, so like the slightest variable will make a big difference basically, so we're not going to be too worried about it at the moment, trying to do anything crazy. It's a little bit annoying because I know for sure that the car was a little bit faster last year maybe, you know, but we didn't know that that was going to be some sort of an issue. But hopefully at the weekend the track has a bit more like momentum and it'll be easier to stay with people. I might just try one more set of tyres just to call off the day, do maybe 2-3 laps and see how it goes. I might just see if we can just wind in like full grip for a lap and just kind of see what happens, and yeah, just go from there. Other than that, car is going pretty good. We've had no issues at all day, which is pretty sweet, you know. That's kind of the priority of today, so we're happy with that. We're gonna just spanner check back at the car, make sure that it's okay, and see how it is then, and do another lap. But you'll see how it was from the onboards. It is quite fast. It's much faster than the FT stuff, which is I think an issue with my head as well, is that I'm trying to, like, you know, I feel like I'm going fast enough, but I'm going fast enough in like FD terms, not Drift Master terms. So we put a little bit more grip in the car and we went out and initiated in, and we actually had a subframe point break, so we were busy fixing that, so I didn't really get to record much. But we actually did bring a welder in the truck this year, so not here the first day to use. So we're going to just jump back in, do a bit of a lap, nothing hectic, just to see how it is, and hopefully it doesn't break anything else and we can just go straight back in and go straight into the truck and get loaded and head back to Madrid. Let's see how it goes. So the boys are just finishing up, packing up. Last lap went fairly okay, but when we were cleaning the subframe with the wire wheel, we actually nipped the brake line and kind of caught the braided part, but we thought it didn't go through. But when I flicked in, we lost handbrake straight away, but we just done the run, and at least we know that the car is working. We did try to put a little more grip in for that run. It's quite strange, like I really thought that we were at the max of our grip for power, but when I put more grip in, the car got faster and didn't like die down basically, so it still had the power. So we probably should have tried putting like a full kill mode setup into it just to see how it would have reacted, which is kind of a bit silly of me, but at the same time today was literally just to make sure that the cars were running sweet and that Jeroen from DBM is my friend for the season, because I told him that I'd test before round 1. So in a way I'm kind of lucky that we got to do today before Bain. We do a full test day on Friday, and Conor will be there, so I'll be able to have feedback from me and him, and we'll be able to, like, you know, really figure out like where our issues lie and stuff. But we are happy that the cars are running. Thank you to Conor Falvey and to Clint for driving Fionn's car and Conor's car, just to make sure that we got a log from them, make sure they're all okay. We do have one slight issue with Fionn's car, not too sure what it is, but something clutch related. We put a new clutch in his car, and for some reason it just has a weird biting point now at the moment, but it might just be a matter to take the box out, double check everything and put it back together, because it's still biting and driving fine, so just has a weird noise, which is a bit strange. Other than that, we are getting ready to head back to Madrid. Truck goes into the track tonight, and then we have to check into our Airbnb and yeah, get ready for tomorrow, where we roll in. The team gets here tomorrow, the rest of the lads get set up, get everything out, get ready to kick off the season. So hopefully it goes to plan, and yeah, we will see you in Circuit Jarma. That's not how you say it, but that's where we're going to meet. So yeah, see you there. So day is almost done. All the team arrived. We have Fionn's car basically together. We had to take the clutch out of that, make sure there was no issue. There actually wasn't. I think what actually happened was that because it was a brand new clutch after wearing in and just needed to be cleaned, and we done that, put it back together, make sure it's working and seems okay. So we have my car basically done. We're just getting ready to do the brake line. We did fit a new alternator. It's a new alternator that Group D are doing, and they give you the bracket and the alternator basically. So we have that on my car now. Conor's car needs one also. I'm not too sure if they have it on yet or not. Maybe they do. No, they don't. It's still the old one. So yeah, we have new coilovers to the front of Conor's car and Fionn's car, so they need to be done also. Podge just doing a quick look over under of Conor's car just to make sure it's good. Other than that, we are fully set up. We have our eating area, my car, Conor's car, Fionn's car. We have our Mallow Tool Jefferson boxes, one per car with everything that we need. We also have the back of the truck more or less ready. We haven't put out the tire machine yet because our tires won't be here until tomorrow, but getting cleaned up, all the wise fab back on the wall to make sure that we have easy access for spares. Again, Mallow Tools for the Milwaukee pack out stuff, making sure that we can access our spare bolts and all that kind of stuff. Fairly handy. Another upgrade this year, like I was saying at the testing yesterday, was this welder. You would upgrade? I've had you with years, not an upgrade. But yeah, we are getting there. Stephen is hiding from the camera. You're in every other video in the background, but now you're...
That's it, I know, neither of them. I don't want to be on it.
We're almost ready to go, so gonna head back to the apartment, get some sleep, get here quite early in the morning because we have a tire delivery and another 1 or 2 deliveries that we are waiting for. So I'll try to be here and do that, and yeah, need to track Dave Egan's Supra also because he's after changing 1 or 2 little bits, so want to just do that for him. Time to go to bed, so we'll see you tomorrow.
So it's the start of day 1, first time that we get to drive the cars here at Drift Masters in Spain. Really looking forward to it. It's nice to always be back and kick another season off. I feel like the team has done a good job. Jack's done a great job at rebuilding the cars with Jeroen and everybody who's been involved. So I'm definitely personally excited to get back in the car and drive. Fionn is in Group A. He's about to head out for his first session right now, and yeah, looking forward to it. Everything's looking good. The team is doing a good job. The vibe is good. So me and Jack drive in like 2 hours, so we'll give you an update when Fionn gets back in, how he's getting on. He'll have the first impressions of the track, so it's kind of mean saying this, but it's a good opportunity for me and Jack to put a lot of work into Fionn right now for this session. Make sure that his car is happy, and then we know that we can start with the car what we ended up in the practice session for him. So yeah, Drift Masters round 1. Fionn is nervous as always. Yeah, he's like, I was about to get sick in briefing. He holds on to nerves so bad, and I'm looking forward to watching Fionn's progress. I know that he's been trying to put a lot of work into himself. It was a big decision for him to come back for another year, and I'm excited. I think he's definitely going to improve, surprise a lot of people, and that's always the plan. And it's a good opportunity for me and Jack to work with somebody else, share the knowledge with somebody else, and push him as much as we can. So yeah, let's get started, and less of the talking, more of the driving, I guess.
day one is done. Not the most successful day for Conor. He only got 2 laps and then there was an issue with the car, so nothing major. They have it fixed now and going back together. Fionn's practice went pretty good. I think he probably got 6, maybe 7 laps practice. We kind of got a fairly good ratio in the car and got through practice with 0 issues. Car still looks quite good. I actually do really like Fionn's car on these wheels because I think the chrome actually suits his car better than the white. Also, my own car was fairly good. 0 issues until the last lap where we had a fan belt come off, but like I mentioned this morning, we changed the alternators from Group D, but we actually didn't get the belts from him. We had the wrong size belt basically, so we sent the lads to the motor factors in the evening, got belts, so that'll be sorted for the morning. But other than that, not a single issue, which is great. So 2 out of 3 made it to the end of the practice with no major issues. Connor's car is not even a major issue, so it'll be fixed in the next probably 15-20 minutes. 5 minutes, Stephen said 5 minutes. So yeah, Stephen and Paj making sure that this machine will be ready for the morning. Then just a matter of a quick look underneath, make sure nothing fell apart, and then that'll be that. But yeah, front of the tints looking pretty good again. New sponsor wall is also done. So thank you to Corey for planning all this and getting it all sorted. Looking good now with the FMIC and Pulsar logo, along with the rest of our great partners who make all this possible. But yeah, not a bad day. The track is not one of my favourites, that's for sure. It's a little bit hard because the start line is too close to the first corner and you actually can't get into the gear that you need to make the first transition because it's so long, which is quite frustrating. So I'm having to flick and initiate in 3rd gear and then pull 4th gear. So I'll have an onboard up and you'll be able to see that, so you'll understand what I'm saying there. I did try like short shift into 4th before the initiation, but it kind of kills the momentum on the shift, so then I don't have enough speed to make outer zone 3, which is quite important to make sure that you have proper angle and speed and make all the zones. But I didn't think I was doing too well, and then I watched a couple of videos of other drivers and I think we're all in the same boat as when it comes to like where we're transitioning and all that kind of stuff. So are we doing what the judges want us to do to 100%? Definitely not, because I think that we need probably another 500 horsepower to make that possible, because we even have all the grip taken out of the car. But I haven't heard one driver say that they've got their cars anywhere near gripped up for this track. We might try a bit of a setup change I'm going to probably try make a setup change in my car. I'm going to probably go back to a bit less toe in on the rear. Hopefully then on the shallow angle I might be able to put a little bit more tyre pressure out of the tyres and then give me a bit more drive in 1st gear, because I am spinning the wheels quite a bit in the straight line. I'll show you what Colm looked at because he loves the camera. We got a fresh delivery of our Extremes today to the track. They are flat out on the tyre machine, making sure that our Stroms are wrapped in new Extremes. Now say hello, Colm. Colm. Quite a good model for the new jerseys. Liam's flat out. That's all for tonight. Also, our new team tops are pretty sweet. Conor got these done in America, so they're very similar to his FD ones, but I do like the black and navy. It's kind of more suited to me for the darker colours. Obviously, if I have to lie down underneath the car, it helps for that kind of stuff. That's it for tonight. See you tomorrow. Last practice is done before qualifying. Quite an okay practice session for myself and Fionn. We got some good laps, made sure everything was okay, and feeling fairly confident in the line. So hopefully we can qualify. Not too sure how we're going in comparison, but we are happy and I feel like we can put a good enough score on the board. So it depends on where everyone else is feeling, and that'll obviously determine where we qualify. Other than that, no real issues between my car and Fionn's car. Connor's car, of course, being the problem child, is after braking. Slight issue again. He only got like 3 laps of practice this morning. Other than that, he is happy with the car, how it drives and everything. So I do feel like once the car is driving how it needs to drive, he will put in a good run, no doubt. These are usually the weekends that Conor ends up coming back and winning the events, so I'm not worried in the slightest once the car makes it for a lap. Track is just kind of tricky. We have the cars super loosened up at the moment just for qualifying, just to put in like a good score basically, because we wanted to be as like fluid as possible and make sure that we hold angle and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of all for now. Didn't get many onboards this morning. I don't think I got like one, maybe two. I'll try put in one of them and show you what it's like. But yeah, see you qualifying.
We're back on the line with our first Irishman of the day, and it will be Fionn from Mallow, 2JZ Toyota GT86 off the line, 975 horsepower as he fires that car in. A rookie last year, and Drift Masters a little wobble as he comes to the outside zone, now back for another full season. Big D-cell into this long outside zone as he works his way down, shallows up the angle, now stands on the throttle as Fionn works his way through this tight flick, this inside zone collected, the outside zone collected, and across the line.
First qualifying run done. It wasn't the ideal run, but to be honest, I'm happy to get a score. I never really clicked with the track in practice, but the last session we had today was 40 minutes and I put in 2 or 3 good runs there, so that gave me a final bit of confidence to go into qualifying. I messed up on the entry, which was actually the only part I've been doing good all day, so yeah, I'm actually not too worried now about the second run. I mean, if I got a 0 or something very low, I'd probably be pretty nervous, but a 71, it's not the worst. Probably won't be enough to get in, but I'm confident enough, so hopefully I can just tidy it up a small bit, and I think that's all I need to do, just a bit cleaner and I should be fine.
One is done, 88.5, third place from like when I finished, but obviously there's a lot more very good drivers after me, so I reckon if we're holding top 10 after the first runs, I'll be very happy, but I'm not too sure if that's possible. And I did feel like I was as aggressive as I possibly could be and held angle pretty well for like the layout. There's a couple of good runs happening, so I think Tor is first with a 90.5, so we're not too far away, only 2 points off. Like, so I feel like in the second run, if we can do the same again and nail that in our trimming point, we should be pretty okay. Yeah, it's good. There's the base starting to fill up, the fans are rolling in, track felt okay, car feels good, which is probably the main thing, to be honest. I would love a top 4 showdown. That's like what I'm aiming for, but who knows, like qualifying is so tough these days. But gotta watch back the run with Matt, go through it, see where we think we lost all the points and see what we can improve on next one, and hopefully just get that score a bit higher. But in the meantime, Conor's almost up, so fingers crossed his car stays working and pulls down a good score also.
Out. Peace out. Over.
He's looking solid, he feels good as well. Conor Shanahan, on the other hand, wasn't feeling too good earlier on in practice when these guys had to do some quick repairs to the car. I'm not sure yet still what it was, as Conor Shanahan leaves the line on this 2JZ Power Toyota GT86, our 2023 champion. Now back out trying to redeem himself. Can he get himself back in that fight this year as he now works the back end of the 86 right to the edge of the track, right into that outside zone as he now fires through, and this is looking good for Shanahan. Little dab of the handbrake, very minimal slow in there for Shanahan, uses the angle to put the car where it needs to be, and that's clean. Yep.
So Conor, first run done?
Yeah, I don't understand. I analyze your runs, don't miss the zones, and sometimes always score lower, so it makes no sense to me, but it's annoying a little bit. It's what it is, the joys of Drift Masters, I guess. Sometimes car is good, it's not making full boost in third gear, so well, other than that, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, watching his run after just studying my run to see what I can do better, I feel like Conor done what I was going to do, and now I'm not too sure if that's enough because he scored a point less than me. I don't know. For some reason, Conor gets crucified in Drift Masters for left foot braking, even though he's just balancing the car and not doing he's not doing anything overly excessive when it comes to slowing down. And for some reason, just gets crucified. But it is what it is. We'll reset, go again, see how the scores go for the second run.
We go back on the line to the Irish driver Fionn in this Toyota GT86. 71 on the board in the first qualifying run. Absolutely nails the throttle off the line through the gears. He goes up to 4th gear, clutch kicks that car, and you can hear it screaming as he drops the wheel, picks the front wheel up. That freewheel motion coming into play like a lowrider as he works his way around. It's deep into the wall, tags the wall as Fionn Roche, and it now starts to fall apart ever so slightly for the Irishman. And you can see it's rocked him a little bit. Now he's having to think about what he's doing as he kicks the clutch again across the line. Right, here we go. Top 4 starts right now. Conor Shanahan sits on the line. What can he do? The 2023 champion works his way through the gears in his 2JZ Toyota GT86 and flicks the car across the circuit. Big clutch kick from Shanahan now. Shallows up the angle, goes right to the edge of the track. He knows what these guys have been doing. He's very good at watching everyone else, and he does. Rinse and repeat, copies everyone else, gets that car glued to that outside line, puts it right where the judges want to see it. Can he hold this one together as he fires on big angle, barely touches the brake, as Shanahan goes to the edge of the track and across the line.
Yeah, and that in-car right at the beginning, there's a bit of nervousness also.
We're in Spain, round 1 Drift Masters, qualified 3rd, finished 3rd in the battle showdown. So not a bad day considering. We got Conor's car fixed, everything done. And I was craving pizza and Bagsy invited us for pizza, so I was like...
It's not. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 7.
There you have it. There's a debate of the score of the pizza. So because I am the food review guy, I'll give you my opinion on it. And we're going to order some pepperoni pizza. We're probably going to have to try the beer as well, I guess, because they said it's like fake stuff. So we'll chance that, and we'll give you a response. On the ball, woman. Presentation is good. Crispy crust, big pepperoni, nice cheese. Let's dig in.
Now we're going to get the real... We're going to get the real numbers now.
Are you good?
Fuck me. You're definitely fucking wrong. I have to wait to get the crust.
I have to get to the crust. Where are you at right now? About an 8, 9?
Yeah, like 8.
8.
Have you any garlic sauce? No, that's not a thing.
Some of the chilies just now.
No, no. I'd say I'm at like a 9.2. The pepperoni is spicy, which is great. The base is skinny, which is good. It's not too greasy. There's a nice amount of tomato sauce. Tomato sauce is very nice. And the crust is very fluffy. So it's a winner for me. Like 9.2 for sure.
Hello, my name is Conor. Squad is eating dinner. Qualifying day is done. I finished 5th place. Jack finished 4th place. I scored, what did I score? 88. Not enough in a way, put it that way. Actually a pretty good day. Had a problem with the car this morning, but the guys got it fixed, so got out for qualifying. Was actually very happy. Car's running good, and know that I can put a decent amount of grip in it in the morning, and it should be quite fast. So ready for battles. Wasn't really pumped, to be honest, about my scores. I felt like that comparing to other runs, we done a little bit better, but that's the joys of a judge sport and joys of drifting. We always have different opinions. Looking forward to tomorrow. Some food ate and ready to go to bed. See you guys in the morning. Oh.
Yeah, I swear to God, you are one of a kind.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Pat? We're checking everything for the 10th time. Is that right, Pat? That's right, yeah. This could be the 11th.
Said this is it, and then went back on
the other way. But there we go, on the line. Jack Shanahan to lead out Yves Meyer from Switzerland as they fire through the gears. Look at this, Yves Meyer onto the back bumper at GT86 already, but Shanahan's fast. But Yves Meyer's got the pace and the car to hang with him as they fire through. Yves Meyer perfectly timed that transition. Look at the dive from Yves Meyer as he now applies the pressure all over the side of that Toyota GT86. They fire through. It's a Toyota on Toyota affair out there on track as now Yves Meyer goes for the kill one more time across the line. Well, here we go. They're back on the line. Yves Meyer now will be full of confidence as we see those amber lights illuminate. He goes green. He jumps off the line, breaks that beam, and Shanahan's going to be in the car thinking, well, I need to pull it all out of the bag. Oh, look at the flick from Yves Meyer. Big clutch kick as he puts that GR Super across the circuit. But Shanahan not letting him get away. The spotters would have told him that he needs to be all over the side of that blue Super as they come down, pick up the zones, and Yves Meyer doing an incredible job out front, puts that car to angle, comes down, picks up the inner zone. Shanahan onto the door, onto the rear bump.
So top 22 is done. We got the win after a very serious battle, I must say. Like, Yves Meyer is kind of one of the drivers that when you come across him, you're not too sure what kind of Yves you're going to get on the day, and today we got a fairly tough competitor. So I done my lead run first. Obviously the new rule, you can choose lead or chase. I said I'd lead first, let him set the tone of the battle, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I really wasn't expecting him to put in the chase he did. So Matt's just said push, and that's what I done. I put in a fairly good chase run. I knew I could trust him. I got a chase run with him on practice, and I knew he was going to be fast, so I just nailed it, and feels good, must say. So I'm very happy. So yeah, top 16 is great. So get to do the parade, first time in a while, so that's fantastic. Seeing Conor's up in the next 2 battles, I think, so see how he goes. But yeah, that's good, very good.
Count down. As soon as it goes green, Shanahan has to break the beam. Can't jump before it. Look at the light. We're not. And there we go. We get a green light this time as they are through and down. They come through the gears. Clint Van Ork, a bit of separation now. That restart may have shook Clint Van Ork just slightly, but he's trying to get himself back into the fight. Now he's hustling and bustling, trying to get down, and he's going to make contact with the front wheel. Oh wow! How did Clint Van Ork keep himself out of trouble there? As Clint Van Ork is absolutely hustling and tussling, trying to get himself back into that fight, onto the rear wheel. He jumps. This is scrappy from Van Ork, but he gets himself in.
Una vuelta quizá un poquito más conservadora que la que tenía el piloto de Octores, el piloto holandés.
Clint Van Ork now sits in that lead position. Off the line he goes. Conor Shanahan would have been told, look, it was scrappy. We still need to stay with him. Big click, big flick from Clint as he fires that car through. Now Clint Van Ork starts to pull some ground on Shanahan. You can see Shanahan trying to get that car where it needs to be, but Van Ork struggles to get to outside zone 4. He's trying to pull away from Shanahan. You can see the pace of the car, pulling the body panels clean off that S14 as Clint Van Ork once again back on throttle. Big clutch kick, up the hill he goes.
I love it.
Well, there we go. They get the thumbs up from both sides. We wait for that light to go green, and it does. And Shanahan jumps off the line. Oran Nilsson in chase as he now falls into formation. They both clutch kick in to that first outside zone, and Nilsson on to the back bumper of that GT86 already. As Jack Shanahan now locks up the handbrake. Look at that, perfectly into that outside zone, but that's opened the door for Nilsson, and it opens the door massively as he tags the rear wheel, almost pushes Shanahan through that outside zone. Nilsson back on the hunt again, back on the rear wheel across the line. Wow. The start line is going to be Conor Shanahan to take on Alexei Olovnia as he sits on the line. 2 GT86s, 2 power plants that are identical, almost 2 similar power figures. This now, the machinery the same, comes down to just the driver.
Yeah, this is a true head-to-head battle here when you have that, and it makes for great tandem.
It certainly does. Well, 2 guys that have been driving for a long time. Shanahan, the 2023 Drift Masters champion, maybe a little bit more experienced, but Olovnia been around the block a few times, that's for sure. And look at that, it shows as Olovnia almost goes door to door and angle to angle as they fire through. Olovnia transitions before Shanahan in the outside zone, though. Olovnia seems to be losing a little ground as Shanahan on an absolute flyer as they fire into outside zone 7. Olovnia once again loses some ground, now starts to make it back across the line. You're going to have to push. This is not going to be an easy battle. Olovnia is going to give you everything you need as a chase driver. He's going to give you all the tools. What can you do? He looks across for the line as Alexei Olovnia now sits on the line. The Ukrainian driver leads out. Conor Shanahan from Ireland. They fire through the gears. Look at this. Shanahan on the bumper, closer than Olovnia on initiation. Nothing separating these two guys at the moment as they fire through. Good transition from both of them as Olovnia leads him into outside zone 4. Nice line from the Ukrainian, but look at this from Shanahan. He shallows up the angle and noses the front of that GT86 in to the door of Olovnia's GT86. A little wobble there from Olovnia, but he gets through it. Final outside zone, door to door. Shanahan to lead out Nielsen. Look at Nielsen already jumping off the line like a lowrider. The front of that Sora popping up and down as he jumps onto the back bumper. Nice initiation from Shanahan as they get into it. Shanahan right to the edge of the circuit. Nielsen goes for a very brave transition behind Shanahan now, working his way into the groove, nosing the front of that Sora right up to the door, starts to get lost in a cloud of smoke, and then dives through the smoke, rips up massively, has to shallow up again as he goes for the rear wheel of Shanahan's GT86.
Yeah, both drivers taking notes from their previous run. Ura Nielsen getting a little bit more aggressive in the chase, taking a few more risks. That's actually Conor Shanahan's spotter, but hey, he might be doing double duty.
He's doing double duty.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, when you're in with the Shanahans, you do everything.
We'll see how Shanahan gets on in the second half of this battle. Look at this, he's already creeping off the line now. We get a clean start, ready to rock and roll. Nielsen to lead out Shanahan for a spot in the Great 808s. Who's it going to be making his way through? And look at this, Oren Nielsen has gripped that car up massively, tries to drive away from Shanahan, but look at this from Shanahan, bobbles. This is unbelievable. Oh, he's in the wall. Oren Nielsen back end of that Sora into the wall. Shanahan deals with it, dives down the inside. Shanahan closer than anyone else as Shanahan pushes Oren Nielsen across the line.
Oh man, that was fun.
Take out the radios and get the stage.
As we go straight into another heavy one, it is Conor Shanahan to face off against Jack Shanahan for a spot in the final four. I don't even know what to say with this one. Jack Shanahan takes the lead position. No games played between the brothers. They stick in formation, the thumbs up. There's a lot of pressure here from both guys. This is all about bragging rights, going back to the paddock to say you might be the champion, the former champion, but you couldn't beat me in Spain.
Or it goes the opposite way.
Or it goes the other way.
This is why I'm a champion.
Exactly that. Well, here we go. The car slam into gear. Shanahan versus Shanahan. Conor to chase down Jack as they come through the gears. Look at this. Conor Shanahan straight onto the back bumper of Jack's GT86. They fire through. No messing around. Clean cut so far as they both put it right to the edge of the circuit for outside zone 4. Conor Shanahan starts to creep up on his brother, put the front wheel to front wheel, but Jack is on an absolute ripper, but Conor fires down on the inside, noses wheel to door across the line. For now, Jack Shanahan feeling comfortable. Look at that, thumbs up, he's ready to rock and roll, and he would have been given all the encouragement for everyone in the paddock, everyone behind the scenes saying, look, this could be the time to shine. But Randalou, he says, I've been here before, I've been in a final, I want to get back in that final, I want to be back on the podium. He doesn't even look at the camera, he's fully focused as Randalou waits to get the signal from our start line Marshall Martin. This is it, this is the first battle in our final four. They get the green light to go and they are off the start line through the gears. It's going to be Jack Shanahan to lead in Oliver Randalou, and it looks slow, but it isn't slow as Shanahan clicks the clutch. Randalou is all over the side and the back bumper of that GT86. Jack Shanahan fires into outside zone 4 and Randalou onto the door. Look at this, tucked up close and personal. Randalou is not messing around here in Spain. How did he even do that? It didn't even make sense. Randalou is a man possessed right will slam shut on that carbon fibre helmet as Jack Shanahan slams the door of his GT86. The light goes green and we are good to go for the playoffs here. Who will take third step on the podium as they slam through the gears? Shanahan flicks that car across the circuit, and look at this from Purcell, much better as he puts himself into formation. Shanahan on the handbrake into outside zone 4, nice and wide, but look at that from Purcell. He's tucked up on the inside, onto the door he goes as they fire through. Now Purcell down again on the inside. An incredible chase from Kevin Purcell as they go wheel to wheel.
We are over and done with here in Spain. Not a bad start to the championship, I must say. We ended up with a P4 finish, so P4 qualifying, P4 in the battles also, so I'm pretty happy with that. We got beat by Oliver Randalou and Kevin Purcell, who were just like on a mission. Like the grip they had compared, well, not the grip, they just had a little bit more power than me, I think, and I just couldn't put the grip that I needed in the car. And when I did try it with Oliver Randalou, I just understeered, so that was kind of the end of that. But other than that, I am quite happy with my driving. I'm happy with the car all weekend, like not a single issue with my car, so that's quite good. Conor and me battled top 8. I got to win quite a good battle, probably one of the cleanest battles of the day. I think it was fairly flat out, which is great. Fionn didn't qualify, but he was driving very, very good in practice, and I think he's just being a little bit too hard on himself for when it comes to the battles and put himself under too much pressure, which is not ideal because we know he has it in him, and he's definitely better than what he's showing right now because his potential is definitely there, and like his practice was very, very impressive. So I really hope that he comes out swinging in Finland and really proves that he is good enough, because he definitely is. It's been a long day. The boys are all packed up. We don't have the cars in yet because they sleep upstairs, and then before we go to the airport in the morning, we will put all the beds downstairs and then put all the cars back in on top. That's it from Spain. Round 1 done, 4th and 6th in championship for me and Conor, I think, so not a bad start at all. So yeah, we're happy, very happy. So now it's time to relax and reset and get home. Thank you for watching, really appreciate the support. It's been a great weekend, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, bye bye.